Hi everyone, welcome to another day of PaletteMAS, and let's jump straight into the video and see what palette I have chosen to try today.
Off, my dear. The forecast ain't clear.
Hi everyone, hope you guys are doing well. We're gonna really throw it back today to a palette that I don't believe is actually available anymore. However, my friend Stephen Ford posted over on Instagram, or put it in their stories sometime last week, a comparison photo of this palette along with a brand new one that the brand just released, and how there were quite a lot of colors that overlapped, and it made me realize that I still have yet to use this palette, and it released, I want to say, like 2 or 3 years ago. So before we jump in, let me very quickly introduce myself. For those of you guys that are brand new to my channel, hi and welcome. My name is Natalia. I'm a concert pianist who loves all things makeup and beauty, and I have accumulated so much makeup over the many years that I have been watching YouTube, but it poses an issue. I haven't tried a lot of it yet because I'm not really a daily makeup wearer. I am trying to change my habits and switch from a collector's mentality to a user mentality. So if you're interested in content that combines makeup that we already own with an occasional sprinkling of some new things here and there, then I hope that you will stick around and subscribe. For those of you guys that are not new to my channel, thank you so much for coming back. I really do appreciate that you're taking a few minutes of your time to spend with me. Let's jump in to the video. We are going to be exploring GLAMLITE today. GLAMLITE just recently released the Willy Wonka collection, and there was a pretty large, I'll try to put pictures, pretty large palette in there that almost looks like, I want to say it's an 18 pan. I haven't looked at it since last week. I saw it over on Instagram, but I believe it's an 18 pan palette, and it's laid out as like 2 9 pans, a more neutral side and then a more purple leaning side. And it made me think, after seeing a story that my friend Stephen Ford put, that I have both of the palettes that Stephen posted as a comparison. It was a photo of the Willy Wonka palette, and underneath were 2 palettes from the GLAMLITE Happy Hour collection. I, at some point, purchased the entire Happy Hour collection. I still own 3 out of the 4 palettes that collection came with, and the 2 palettes that I am referencing are the Chocolate Martini and the Wine Palette. I have already used the Chocolate Martini palette a few times, and I very much enjoy it. Realized I still have yet to try the Wine Palette. My favorite from this collection has always been the Dirty Martini palette. It's the green one. This is basically what the 2 of the palettes would look like, you know, back to back, side to side, however you want to think about it. As I said, I've already tried this one, so I'll see if I really need a neutral. I might jump into this palette today for a shade, but I think I am going to, I seem to be on the purple kick, not on purpose, guys. I just realized I also did like a very muted lilac-y purple look with the Nomad Chicago Speakeasy palette, and I believe that video just went up yesterday, so I'm sorry for so many purples. I guess I should really have thought this through, but I did not. But I think this will be fun because I'm wearing a white sweater, and I again have a very neutral makeup on. Otherwise, I just got back from work and I'm just doing this eye makeup look to try out this palette and play with some makeup, and then in an hour or 2 it's all gonna get washed right off. Yeah, let me know, do you guys have this wine palette still? Did you get the Happy Hour collection or any of those palettes back in the day? We're gonna do what I've been doing this whole time, and we're just gonna speed through a look. I have absolutely no clue what I want to do with this palette because a part of me is really drawn to this Merlot shade, but I feel like it's the odd man out. I don't really see much else that would go well with this Merlot shade, so I don't know. I have a feeling this is going to get very deep very fast. I think what I'm struggling with is actually to figure out what shimmer to pair with this if I do decide to use this, and also what to blend it out with, like what other matte I should use with it, because I am not one to usually just do one super dark matte everywhere, but maybe I should try that today. Maybe I should just do a matte shadow all over the lid and then kind of go from there. Maybe that's what we'll do. Maybe we'll do Merlot all over the lid and see. This is also going to be a great test for how well it blends. And if I want to use more colors, I guess I always have a lower lash line. This might get interesting, but let's try it. Ooh. Okay, well that didn't take long. Well, that escalated quickly to the point where I thought that my pretty nude lip felt so out of place that I had to just go big or go home. So I changed my lip as well. I also in the process have found one Bite Beauty lipstick that has gone bad. This would have been actually prettier color, I think, with this look, but it is so thick and goopy you can't even apply it anymore, and it definitely smells off. I mean, I know Bite Beauty hasn't been a brand in quite a while, but I still have a few of their lipsticks that smell fine and feel fine. I just tested a couple of others, but this one definitely has gone off, so it's gonna have to go in the trash, which is a shame. But we're not here so much for the lip as we are for wowzer these eyes. I had a feeling it was gonna get dramatic because if you look at this, there's really no light shades except for this pink right here and this lavender right there. I made the mistake of trying to blend the Merlot shade with those two, and to be honest, I kind of regretted that, but I couldn't exactly undo that at that point. So I mean, like, we've got 80s vibes happening all the way today. The eyes, the hair, the lips, the whole caboodle. This is the fun of it. This is the fun of makeup. Will I ever wear this look out? Absolutely not. Especially not me over the past year or so. I've been so minimal with pretty much all of my makeup, including my eyeshadow. This is maybe something would have done for videos like in 2020 when we were all staying home and I was playing with makeup and doing like the wildest, craziest things. This is kind of a throwback to that. Let me walk you through what I did. I tried to put Merlot all over the lid. It actually packed on really well, but I had to tap off the brush the first time. I forgot, and I got fallout all over my cheek immediately. The same thing later on happened with this blue. I put Merlot all over the lid. Then, as I mentioned, I tried to blend it out with those two lighter shades. I kind of wish I did not do that, so I had to go back and forth and finagle that a bunch, because this Merlot shade actually, when you start blending it, pulls very pink on its own already, so I probably could have just left it at that. Then I deepened things up with the Cabernet Sauvignon, this blue right here. I also put that same blue in my lower lash line. For the lid, went in with Fruity on the outside half of my eye with Sparkling on the inside half of my eye, and I did the lavender, which is called Fine Taste, in my inner corner. The only shade I pulled in from the Chocolate Martini was this Happy Hour shimmer. I put that a little bit on my lower lash line just to kind of pull things together on the lower lash line a little bit, because I wanted a more blue lower lash line and I didn't want it to be all matte. So I put Cabernet Sauvignon all over the lower lash line, and then just in the front, like third, I threw in the Happy Hour shade. That's what we're doing here. I forgot to mention in the beginning, I think one of the main reasons I've been drawn to purples lately is because I feel like there've been a couple of purple releases and it's kind of been thrown in my face online a lot. I mean, we had the Natasha Denona palette, which I'll be honest did not speak to me at all. Then, as I mentioned, there was the Willy Wonka collection, which is like half purple, half neutral. I know some indie palettes in the past month or two have come out with purple color stories. I just haven't followed every single release super closely. What did I think about the quality? I thought that the mattes pack on really well and very, very pigmented, but as I mentioned, the fallout is pretty intense if you don't tap off your brush. These are very, very powdery. They essentially behave as what I guess is considered pigments, like the kind of shadows where the brands have to like put a warning label here in the States. The shimmers, some of them are looking darker in the pan. They're like more transparent with more of a shift, or not so much I would say toppery completely, because these are palettes of like 2.5, 3 years ago. To me, a topper nowadays, I feel like when people say it's a topper shade, it has to have like an insane amount of sparkle. So I don't think this has a lot of sparkle, but I don't think that that's quite what's happening here. Like, for example, this Napa shade right here, it really looks like it's more purple, and I find that on my finger it pulls more pink and it's much more sheer than what I would envision it being just by looking at the shade in the pan. That's kind of an example of that. So if I were to swatch that, that's what that shade would look like on my hand. Now, I haven't swatched every single shade yet. I'm gonna try to do that for this video and put up swatches at some point. Maybe I already did in the beginning, I'm not sure. I feel like I'm a little bit discombobulated today because I've had a long work day, so I feel like I didn't really say anything of any substance or importance at the beginning, and I'm trying to fumble through my thoughts now. But yeah, it's an all pinky purple palette, and I do feel like a lot of these shades are probably gonna lean pink. Like the Merlot I was hoping was more burgundy, and it is in fact a little bit more pink, especially when you try to blend it out. I'm really curious what Pinot Noir is gonna be like. It looks more pink in the pan, but I wonder how it's going to mesh with other colors. It's interesting that there's this Chardonnay shade in here, so I'll have to figure out a way to combine that with something in here. Overall, it's an interesting color story, but it feels a little bit incohesive. Like I feel like there's something in here that is not always going to work and play well with the other shades, color story wise. I'm not talking about formula right now. I'm purely talking about color. I know, like for me personally, as somebody who is so light skinned, I really struggled to figure out, well, what am I going to blend with? Because there really is nothing to blend with. I find that this earthy and fine taste shades, the light pink and the light lavender, they're like too white based. They're almost pastel like. So when you start blending with them, it really distorts the color that you had underneath. That's what happened to me today when I tried to use it with Merlot, and I really did not like that. But it's my first time using it. I definitely would have to play around with that more, see how I can make this work better. As you know, December is just more about first impressions and trying these palettes, getting a taste for them. Then what I'll do is I'll dive deeper probably into my collection in 2025. I know Steph from It's Steph? I'll put her channel. She does, what does she call it? The No Pan Left Behind projects, where she takes a palette and she uses every single shade in the palette before she rolls it out of her project. And it's something I thought I would start in 2024, but it didn't really happen. I only did that with maybe 4 or 5 palettes on my own time in the spring and summer, and I never really filmed any of that for you guys. Hopefully in 2025 we'll do that. In the meantime, since I've been yapping for eternity and a half, I think this is where we're gonna leave it. If you have these 2 palettes, don't get the Willy Wonka. Try these first. I mean, yes, it could probably be by now a totally different formula, because I feel like formulas change on an annual basis nowadays, especially with indie brands. But like, how many of the same color stories do we really need? That is where I am trying to, like, this is what I'm hoping to discover through this project. And so far, of course, I've been picking very different palettes, and it's only my 3rd day doing this. But I want to know, like, just even in a 2, 3, 4 week period, if I'm consistent with my makeup use, I'm curious to see how many repeats I'm going to get. How many totally different looks can I create? And obviously, it'll be more fun when I try to do that with specific palettes and do deep dives next year. But at least this will give me a taste into what palettes I own, what color stories I already have, and truly start discovering what is in my house, because I feel like I have so many incredible eyeshadow palettes and I don't even know about them, and they're already here. That's what we're trying to change here. If you guys like this wild and crazy look, give this video a thumbs up. Please subscribe if you haven't. I hope to continue to do this for most of the month. I'm sure with my schedule I will have to skip a day here and there, but we're going to try to be as consistent as possible throughout this PaletteMAS. Thank you again so much for being here. Let me know if you have any suggestions or recommendations, if there are any palettes you would like to see, because if I haven't tried them, I'll put them on the list. Really stopping the chatter. I will see you guys tomorrow. Thank you so much for being here. Hope that you guys are doing well, that you're continuing to stay safe and healthy. Take care of yourselves and those around you, and I cannot wait to see you in my next video. Bye guys.
Rudolph, my dear, the forecast ain't clear, so we'll